Under these regulations, the registered keeper is liable for a civil law penalty if litter is thrown from his vehicle. Offences committed on motorways are not covered. How on earth did this come about? In 2014, Section 88A was added to the Environmental Protection Act, enabling regulations to be brought into force. However, only the body that was responsible for cleaning a highway could be empowered to issue a penalty for offences committed on it. This means for motorways, Highways England, for all other roads, the relevant council. A council would not therefore be able to issue a penalty for an offence committed on a motorway and vice versa. In 2017, DEFRA asked Highways England if they wanted the powers to issue these new penalties. They said they did not. So in the draft regulations, only councils were given the requisite powers. In their consultation document, DEFRA said, rather than give new enforcement functions to Highways England, we propose district councils should remain responsible for all littering enforcement, criminal or civil, on the strategic road network, wrongly implying that councils would be able to enforce against offences committed on motorways. This misconception was reinforced by DEFRA Minister Therese Coffey when the regulations were debated and approved in the Commons on the 31st of January 2018. This is what she said in response to a reference to motorways by MP Vicky Ford.
Now, in terms of our highways and also our strategic road network, often the arrangement is that Highways England, particularly on the strategic road network, has an arrangement with the Litter Authority, where the Litter Authority is still responsible for clearing the litter from that side. I think it's perfectly possible for councils to work closely with Highways England in the future, once they have these powers, to use the camera footage that will be available to try and tackle and identify. But the key thing that we'll want to do is to try and deter the behaviour in the very first place.
The next day in the Lords, Baroness Jones asked how the regulations would work on the motorway. Her question was simply ignored by DEFRA Minister Baroness Vere in her summing up. Both Houses of Parliament approved the regulations, unaware that they would not apply to offences committed on motorways. Parliament was duped by DEFRA.